17th of September, is about 2 weeks post show now. And today's video is going to be all about how to approach your nutrition and training, either post diet or post show, and how not to. Best thing you want to do with your nutrition post diet, post training, is ideally to reverse diet out of it. So keeping your calories where they were at and slowly tapering up. However, in my opinion, if you've gotten down to a point when you're super lean, you glutepealed, you want to get back up to a point where you're around calorie maintenance. So for me, at the minute, that's around 3,500 calories, it's 4,000 calories. I did do last week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I was pretty much eating whatever I wanted to eat. My scale weight went up by about 10 pounds post from sort of show weight. And then Thursday, Friday, I managed to sort of get myself back into a routine, get back on my food, and then Saturday, Sunday, I proceeded to carry on eating whatever food I wanted. Now this week, I've been on plan. Monday, Tuesday, really good. Wednesday, most of the day, and then I had a bit of a fuck up. And then today and yesterday, I've been on plan as well. So it's okay to not be on plan 100% of the time. It's something which is going to be very hard for you to do. So I wouldn't stress out too much about nailing your nutrition. At the end of the day, we're all human, and the willpower you've had to go through to diet for or prep for 16, 20 weeks, however long it may be, it's going to take its toll on your willpower. It's a finite resource. You can't just have unlimited willpower. So if you come post show and you want to eat, it's going to happen. And if anyone knows what it's like to eat post show, it's very, very hard to stop yourself consuming everything in sight. For example, on Wednesday on my fuck up, I decided to treat myself to a bit of dark chocolate in my Greek yogurt, which I wouldn't normally do. So I melted a bit of Greek yogurt, and that's on my normal plan anyway. Greek yogurt with a scoop of whey. I had some dark chocolate in there, and then I fancied something else sweet, so I had a digestive biscuit. One digestive biscuit turned into a whole pack of digestive biscuits, and then sort of just went downhill from there with Magnum ice creams and shit like that. I'll hold my hands up, it's hard to control yourself at that point. It's not impossible, it's me giving into my cravings, but that's okay, that's a fine thing to do. I haven't gained shitloads of weight off it. You get back on plan the next day and crack on. My phone died halfway through that. Where were we? So yeah, so currently, so what I'd say my recommendation to do post show or post diet is get your calories back up to a point where they're around maintenance level. Fucking hell, bro. Back up to a point where they're around maintenance level. So for me, currently that's around 4,000, like I said. Because at the end of the day, no one wants to sit on like shredded glutes all the time. If you've had lean glutes, this is more for a competitor now. If you've had lean glutes, it's not fun to sit on. Your body's been under massive stress. You want to get it back to a point where your body is functioning normal. You can get your training back to normal. You can fill those glycogen stores back up. So currently on maintenance calories, we are pulling all drugs back, which is what I'd recommend anyone doing post show. Slowly tapering off fat burners. Brought all drugs down to a cruise dose. Now obviously I've been running slow Easter or long Easter drugs, which means they probably still going to be in my system for a good 4 to 6 weeks from now. So the idea is come down to a cruise dose, which is around 125 milligram of testosterone and anthate per week. Get my bloods done in about 8 weeks time and see where my levels are at. Give myself a total of about 10 weeks of cruising. Once my bloods are back and they're in a good range, then we can look at going back onto a blast again. My body fat levels are still pretty decent, considering the bump in calories and obviously the slip-ups that I've had. I haven't really accrued any body fat around my midsection very much. Well, especially around my stomach, maybe more around my back and my lower back. My arms are still very lean. When I train, I get very vascular still. My legs are still very lean. They still got loads of veins going through them as soon as I start training. Especially when it's like hot and I've been stood on them a while, there's shitloads of veins through them, which I definitely wouldn't normally have at this body weight. So yeah, we're still staying lean. I've got a lot of puffiness around my face, so a lot of water retention still. But that is something that will go over time as your equilibrium of sodium, potassium and water levels start to level up and start to become reach that equilibrium rather than having one through the roof and the other way down here. I'm heading to get a sports massage down at Arnold's gym. What I've found is my quads have been really fucked. They were fucked during prep, they were really tight. And now I found they're still really tight. The first day I trained legs, they felt all right. Obviously after having one day for training, they've seemed to have tightened right back up again, right up out of sweep. So I need to get that released really. So that's what we're doing today. And I'm gonna have a little train here as well afterwards. Just an accessory day really, so just a bit of shoulders, a bit of biceps, just something to put a little bit more frequency through those weaker muscle groups. Yeah, so that's where I'm at now. That's what I'm gonna currently do. So I'll catch up with you in a little bit. Just finished up then. You've seen a little bit of Mark working on my quads. They're just tight as fuck. My upper outer sweep and my quad has just been bothering me for most of prep. And it bothered me the other day, obviously the load's going up and I've gained weight. So Mark's just absolutely battered me. And quote said I had the worst, the tightest quads he's ever worked on. So
tightest quads I've seen to date so far.
But yeah, it's so we're getting sorted out. Especially going into off season, it's going to be important for me to keep on top of it. Mark's based out of Arnold's gym in Liso, so if anyone needs any physio work, I highly recommend going to Mark because fucking hell, I've had some sports massages and that. My quads have done it, so yeah, hit Mark up if you want to come down. Check him out. What's your page?
Atlas Physio Will on Instagram. Specialising in MSK injuries and also neurological rehab. So if you know anyone, any family members or friends yourself who have been impacted by stroke and feel like they need a bit of a
you don't just do juice heads, basically. That's what the question is. So anyone who has any issues or anything, hit Mark up.
Affordable as well, cheapest on the world.
There we go, brilliant.
Come on. Easy. Get it. Easy. All over. 2. There. And again. 3. 4. Easy. 5. And again. 6. Oh, wait, there's 2 more. Come on. Oh. Nice. Easy. Come on. 5. Keep going. 6. 7. 8. Keep going. 9. Come on. 10. Come on. 11. Easy. 12. Come on. 18. Nice. 10.
session wrapped up in Arnold's gym. Literally just added in that day as a bit of a top-up day sort of thing on my shoulders and my weak areas. So bit of shoulders, bit of biceps, just get some blood through the muscle, increase my frequency training those muscle groups, because I honestly believe, in terms of, from my own experience, sorry about the Thor's hammer swinging around there, from my own experience in terms of bringing up weak areas and body parts, nothing beats added frequency, in my opinion anyway. Added frequency or added volume, you can sort of look at them as the same sort of thing, but yeah, so little top up day done. I'm finished now. I wanted to touch on as well how I've approached my training coming into post show. I haven't made too many adjustments to volume, so in terms of amount of sets per session, I've kept them pretty much the same, at least for the start. And my first session back was, which at the minute is literally just like two working sets, one top set, one back off set. So that's what I've been sticking to for now. Slowly over time, as we progress, the addition of new sets and increase in volume will happen, however, only when necessary. I was listening to a podcast on this the other day by John Jewett, and it's hard to determine when the addition of that volume is beneficial or not. Be very in tune with knowing what your volume is. So if you've been on a prep for 16 weeks, you know where your base volume is, slowly bringing it down normally throughout the prep, so at the point where it's basically like minimal volume, and as coming into a reverse phase of coming into an off season, you should always start on that base volume. So that's what we've done. Now, that being said, I have added some set additions in there to the body parts that I want to improve and grow, or the ones that aren't improving as quickly as I'd like them to. So for example, I've added an extra day in, the top up day today, which isn't anything major in terms of volume. It's still only just a small amount of sets, but it's, in terms of accumulative volume, it's a whole nother session, which I wasn't doing before. I don't know why it's so fucking smudgy. God, that's fucking... I don't know why the light's like that. I'm sorry about that. So yeah, so what we're doing is slowly keeping the volume from where it is, base volume, and we're slowly tapering up with the addition of volume to those body parts there. One, I want to grow, and two, that aren't progressing. So they're the two factors I'm taking into consideration. Obviously, I'm not going to know what isn't progressing yet, because we're only 2 cycles in. So my training rotations, and yeah, and we're just making adjustments based on performance in the gym and how my body is responding to that training, in terms of whether numbers are going up and whether my body weight's staying the same, how I'm looking, how I'm feeling. And so far everything's going really well. Strength's going up massively, obviously, because of the rebound post show and actually having some food in there. Prep, we prioritised that, as obviously we knew that was my weak area. That's the feedback I got back from the judges, which I don't think I've said on YouTube yet. I think I've said it on Instagram. But yeah, basically the feedback was that they wanted more size across my top line, meaning more my arms to complete my top line, and overall more muscle development, which is fine. I knew that's why we needed to do, but they said my conditioning was fucking superb. Like, that's something to be congratulated. So I know we can get in condition, and I know we can improve on that condition. So that's a massive compliment to myself, and that's reassuring to myself as well. So the focus can be primarily just be knowing I need to be bigger now. Fucking hell, where are you going? In prep, we prioritized my arms in terms of training. So we were doing arms on push, we were doing arms on pull, and then we did legs, and then we had an arm day as well, and then we had a rest day. So if you think about that in terms of training, you're training arms and shoulders, your shoulders on pull and push as well. So I feel like all that frequency, that accumulative frequency over that prep and the stress it was under, and then this all of a sudden this little bit of rest and then this influx of food. I mean, it's purely anecdotal, this isn't based on any sort of any research whatsoever, but that's what I feel has like absorbed all the food first. That's so bro science, by the way, but that's how it feels in terms of my response to training and how it looks and how I feel. And we're running with it. My training's going great in arms, so yeah, so that's the main way we're approaching prep. It's not overcomplicated. We've gone through this maintenance phase for the next 8 weeks, and once I've had my blood work done, we'll then look at increasing food once I'm back on cycle, on full-blown cycle anyway. And in terms of training, just monitoring volume. Probably won't have any massive adjustments in volume over the course of my cruise period, because my recovery is probably not going to be amazing. That is what we're doing with this off season. Right now, I am at Aldi, and I'm going to get some post-workout nutrition because I'm going from here to pick Becca up from work, so I don't have time to go home. My normal post-workout meal at the minute is 100 gram of Cocoa Pops with 2 scoops of whey, so I'm going to try and match that as best I can in terms of macronutrients. So I'll see what I can get from Aldi. But yeah, grow season episode 1 complete. Catch you in the next one.